Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. I had a really rough week this week, but I am not depressed at all about it. I caught a cold. My son brought a cold home, and I was sick for a week, and then it really started hitting me because the cold worked its way, from the sinuses down to a sore throat, and then starting to get into my lungs. I still have it some, and I'm starting to feel like it'll never go away. During the week, I tried to exercise, and every time I would do some sort of exercise, a walk or push-ups, the next day I would be flat on my back in bed again, and I just couldn't keep going. So I basically had an entire week of no exercise. My diet is about the same, but a few more comfort foods and a lot of tea, hot tea, with some honey, to soothe my throat and to soothe all this congestion. When I'm sick like that, I'm going to do something to take care of myself. And I got some rest, and I got some tea, and I didn't do too well on my weight, and I'll post my weight at the end of the video. But to everyone out there who's been talking to me, you guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome. So I thank you. I'm going to post a video within a day from now, or so, a day or two, because I want to talk to you guys about the new year. So anyway, hope you guys had a great week, and here's the Bigfoot story. Okay? Thanks. Bye.
I'm making a birdhouse.
A birdhouse? One?
No, I'm making 12.
12. Why? What are they for?
They're Christmas presents.
They're Christmas presents.
Woo.
Yeah, he's making Christmas presents because, well, the store is real expensive for their stuff, and he can make stuff just as well. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
My son's outside building birdhouses for Christmas gifts. He didn't have a lot of money, so he used about $12 to $20 to buy the wood, and he's building birdhouses for his family and friends, parents. So I think that's really cool of him. He's also building one for the local fire department. We try to do something for the local fire department every year. Anyway, now for the Bigfoot story. Okay, you got a picture. My wife and I were on the Lone Star hiking trail doing a 7-mile hike, night hike. I said, hey honey, it'd be fun, let's go do a night hike, it'd be fun, just two of us out in the woods, get some exercise. So we had a friend drop our car off at one end of the trail, and then he drove around. So we ended up 7 miles away. He dropped us off and left. So we had to walk the 7 miles at night. And to be honest, I've never been more comfortable in the woods. Everything was peaceful and calm. And there were starlights occasionally, and sometimes in the woods it was really dark because, with all the trees around, it blocked any light, starlight, moonlight. I don't even think the moon was out that night. But we were hiking along, and this path we were on, I had a GPS with me, and there was along the way different things that happened. I almost stepped on a snake, a black one, at least that's what it looked like, my headlamp, and my wife stepped in a hole and froze, meaning she didn't move once her foot was down a foot into a hole. She just sat on the ground with her foot dangling into a hole, and the only thing that came to my mind is it's full of snakes, get your foot out of there. And she's like, wait a minute, I gotta rest, make sure it's not broken. I'm like, get it out of the hole. But we survived, and she just hurt her ankle a little bit, but it was good enough to walk on. And we continued the night hike and went around this really weird jog in the trail that was around 3 sides of a square. And we were getting back on the straightaway again, just past that jog, and I had a GPS so I could follow that compared to my map. And And we started walking along, and there was this really thick wall of bushes to our left. And she was just ahead of me. And suddenly we kind of realized that the forest went quiet. You know, you think it's quiet out there, no cars, no planes. But there's birds and things in the wood, you know, making noise, and lots of crickets, and it just went silent. The whole area we were just walking into just was dead silent. There was no crickets, no birds, no falling branches. There was no wind. It was just dark and quiet. So we paused to look at each other and realized that we started to smell this really bad smell. It was foul smelling. It was like a cross between a wet, dirty dog and a dead rat and garbage. It was just pungent and not pleasant at all. And we stopped for a second, and to our left I started hearing this little chatter. We both did. We heard this little clickety chatter noise, and I didn't know what it was. So I looked into the bushes to my left, and I leaned forward. I got about a foot away from the bushes, and I was looking, and I could still hear that little, but it wasn't like a squirrel. The sound was like out of the movie Signs, where they're listening on the little walkie-talkie to the aliens, but didn't have like that woo and the moaning sounds, but it had the little clickety chatter in it. I mean, exactly. It was and it was sort of terrifying. So I leaned in closer, and I realized the noise wasn't coming from right in the wall. It was coming from like a foot behind the bush, only much taller than me. And both Vicki and I, our hair stood up in the back of our neck. And we just sort of froze, and I backed up a little bit, and then suddenly, okay. Anyway, it really happened, not the jumping out at you. But, what did I see? Nothing. It was dark and it was bushes. What did I hear? I have no idea. Was it Bigfoot? Who knows? Anyway, I told that story to my family, and after a year or so we started doing what's called geocaching. Geocaching.com, you can use a GPS, and all over the world people have buried little toys to teach kids, you know, and have fun with families, that you have to take a toy with you. And they're usually little matchbox cars or bouncy balls or $1 or nickels or batteries, all sorts of weird things. And they put them in a box and then hide the box and usually cover it with wood or something and give the GPS location, and the family goes out, and usually it's neat places like parks, or to see virtual caches that might be like once we saw a jet plane in the middle of a neighborhood. We would have never seen it if we didn't know about it. And then when they get the box, there's a log book. They can sign that they were there, and also read about all the other people from all over the world who have been in their own neighborhood. It's pretty wild. And then they can take a toy, but they have to put a toy in. And that teaches the kids a lot of good lessons. That's a good day for the family. Anyway, we decided we're going to, one day, which we haven't done yet, make a Bigfoot cache. And in the woods, I was going to put that big Bigfoot that's in my backyard out in the woods for people to find. And when they open the box, it's going to have a little speaker behind this little wood thing, about 20 foot away from the box, that would go, and then I'd hide the treasure behind Bigfoot. So the box would actually be a fake decoy. They'd have to go find the box, and then when they come around Bigfoot, they'd find where the cache of toys are. Anyway, that's my Bigfoot story. I hope you enjoyed it. hair on the back of our neck stood up, and then suddenly, okay, one more time. Sit down.
Why? I can't get my voice deep enough.
Don't worry, you're good enough. You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay.